YouTube? It is Kylie Martin here. We are back again. Today I'm on your television, computer, phone, whatever it is that you're watching on. We're happy that you're on the Supercross channel watching. So thank you for that. First of all, a little praise for you guys, little clap. Anyways though guys, today we're going to be going over another how-to video. If you guys have been scrolling along the Supercross website, I'm sure that you guys have stumbled across the AMX 250 frame. If you haven't got one yet, you're missing out. Anyways though, the AMX 250 page, which when you guys click on it, there's going to be a series of photos that pop up with yours truly in it. And one of the photos involves me having both my feet on the wheel as I'm balancing with my hands up. So you guys probably already guessed it. Today's how-to video is going to be how to do that trick, because not only will it impress your friends, but it's easy to learn and looks so sick for photos. So you can do it on any type of bike for all you 20-inch racers out there, 24-inch cruisers, or you guys in the big bike scene. This video is for everyone, anything with a wheel, even you unicycle riders out there. We're gonna get into it right now, so stick around and I can't wait to get into it with you guys. All right guys, so first things first, obviously you're gonna need your bike of choice. For me, I'm using my AMX 250 just because it seemed fitting, seeing as that's the photo that really dropped all this and got this all rolling. So I'm using the AMX 250. Like I said before though, you guys can use anything. You're gonna follow the same step process and you're gonna get the same results at the end if you follow all the steps right. So let's go ahead and start off. First thing you're gonna wanna do before you actually start getting into the trick itself, you're gonna wanna make sure, I know this is gonna be really funny to you guys, make sure your tire pressure is good. And I know you guys are probably wondering, what's your obsession with tire pressure? If you don't ask that, then you clearly didn't watch the last video, which means that you have some research to do after you get done with this. Okay, but you're gonna make sure that your tire pressure is good to go, because in the event that your tire pressure is too hard, it's gonna make the wheel wanna jerk out from underneath you. And if it's too squishy, you're not gonna be able to balance. So it's really finding that nice in between for when you're rolling, all of that. And the next thing for that then would be to make sure that your shoes are gonna be grippy on that bottom. It's the same thing with your tires, guys. You have no grip, you're just gonna slip a lot. And back in the day when I used to ride a 2019, I think it was a Throne, yeah. Back in the day when I used to ride my 2019 Throne, it had slicks on it. And the problem with that is that my foot would always slip off and it made it really difficult to try to do this trick. So just one of those things that you want to keep in mind. Good grip on your tire, good grip on your shoes. For me, I'm using the obvious Vans and Supercross collab shoe. Who would have thought, huh? Anyways, that shoe has some great grip on the bottom and I highly recommend, if you're not into these low-rise deals like I am, there's also the old school option, which is an absolute must-have as well, not even gonna lie. But anyways, now we're gonna go ahead and go on to the trick itself. So when you go ahead and start off, you're gonna wanna have your foot up. I butt mine right up against where the fork starts because I find it a good, nice midpoint for me. And then you're gonna work on just pushing out. Getting used to this motion of pushing out is really gonna help you stabilize and find your midpoint on your bike so that you know, okay, I'm pushing too aggressive, so I'm tipping that way, or I'm not pushing enough, so then I'm leaning with it. One of those things that it really helps you become familiar with the bike and what you're working with. Next, once you start getting that down, you're gonna wanna go ahead and make sure that your cranks are even with that back brace, I guess it would be, part of the frame. I'm not the mechanic, my dad is, so I don't really know the bike terminology here, but you guys all know what I'm talking about, that black triangle. You wanna make sure that your pedals are even like that. For you racers, it'll be very similar to like a gate, because when you're trying to pull this leg up, you wanna make sure that there's nothing in between that can possibly snag and delay your reaction to getting up or throw up your balance, anything like that. So it's gonna be just like this. You have your foot butted up against your fork, you kick out and you lift your leg up. You're gonna practice that a couple times. Don't try to actually balance yet. Just kick out and throw that foot up so that you can get used to where your foot needs to go, how much room that you wanna have in between, because this is one of those things that can get a little gnarly. If you have too much space in between, it's gonna be very awkward with your legs being that far apart. If you have too little space in between, you're just gonna pinball back and forth between feet. For me, when I get on, I usually like to kick out to here and then toss my foot on so that they're not completely all the way down here and not completely all the way up here, but it's in that middle point. Once you go ahead and establish where you feel the most comfortable at, then you can really get into the balancing portion, which will just be kicking up your foot, wiggling back and forth. That's really all that there is to it. For me, whenever I'm balancing, I try and keep my feet flat on the wheel like this. You can really go with any feet back and forth as well. But I try and keep my feet flat on the wheel. I try to not use the sides. If you guys could see close-ups of my shoes, you know that I'd be failing at that because they're so dirty with tire rubber on the sides. But that's really all that there is to it. And then after that, it's obviously just gonna be practice, practice, practice. Stay on top of it, get used to it. And eventually you'll be able to go ahead and start doing no hands with it, things like that. This dirt's like my enemy right now. But anyways, you're gonna be able to do no hands, which is like the iconic photo on there. You can turn out of it, roll away from it. That's another good reason why you wanna have your cranks ready, because if you're at a stop and you're pulling it and then you gotta go real quick, you can hop right back on. Makes it super easy, super cool looking obviously, and all that stuff. So thank you guys all for sticking around to the end. I'm out of breath right now because I'm just such an athlete doing this. But thank you guys all for sticking around. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and go send this to one of your friends or show them in person. That's even a better option. But then make sure they come back to like and subscribe. Anyways, though, thank you guys all for sticking around, and I will see you guys on the next one for another how-to video. We got some pretty good stuff cooking.